members of the proposition, members opposing it, and friends. You see, for the last 1.5 hours, I've been watching with admiration the attempts made to completely mislead all of you. I'll say mislead because let us come to the topic. Let us come to the topic. We have described everything of the media, whereas the topic relates only to trial by media. You don't start describing film actresses from Suchitra Sen to Sunny Leone. We are here for a specific purpose, the trial by media. So let's get to the point. When media undertakes trial, that is only point. When media describes water, when media singes you, that's not the topic of discussion. The topic of discussion is when media undertakes trial or attempts to undertake trial, is that inimical to democracy? That's all. 2 points. Trial by media. We've gone into every sort of a case. You see, what's the point in discussing Nanavati now? Nanavati was a case that sauced up a very dull society with adultery, but nothing has stopped. Nanavati took his opponent or whatever, his wife's friend, Prem, took his name too seriously. So he was shot. Now, the fact that why are we dragging Nanavati in the sense that how much has it affected democracy? Did Indian democracy collapse after Nanavati when he was released or brought in? So why do you bring in every act of the media? So we need to distinguish. We are all mature and I admire their approach, but the point is we need to be precise. The precision lies in only concentrating on trial by media. For trial, you need a case, you need incidents, you need evidence, you need witnesses, you need a procedure, okay? So these are more or less the components of a trial. The media undertakes these trials at times. There's no point denying that media does not do it. But when it is tempered by a mission, would you like to have Jessica Lal's murderer go scot-free because he belongs to a privileged class? He brought out issues that required to be brought out. Otherwise, Jessica Lal would have paid the cops. Jessica Lal's murderers did influence the cops. Nirbhaya case almost has political ramifications because it relates to 50% of our people, 50% of our race, and they are discriminated against, and you had to go overboard to bring some sense back into the system. Rizwanur, a case of, without concentrating on the Rizwanur case, do you think the regime should have changed in Bengal? One of the contributors. So there are certain cases. Please try to understand that everything that flies is not a bird. Even cockroaches fly, okay? So we need to distinguish between a cockroach and a bird. What are we talking about? Media, when it undertakes on a trial mode. Media can be exaggerating, it can be disgusting, it can be lots of things. We're not here defending that part of the media. Let us look at one of the disgusting parts of the media, this Sushant Singh Rajput thing. This was a fixed matter, and this was almost political in nature, where they wanted to fix it with relation to the Bihar elections. That's all. That's all. So here was a disgusting case of an attempt to do it. And it was not a trial by media. It was a propaganda. It was a torture. It was something that was let loose. It was timed. It was orchestrated. You knew it, I knew it. So why do you call it a trial by media? That poor girl, whatever, Chakravarti with that buck tooth and all that, nice girl. I don't know what happened to her. But then the whole idea was that we have to score brownie points. Somebody referred to the Gita, and I've always wondered how the Gita could be recited with two armies on two sides, restless, with horses doing what you know what they do all the time. But let's pass on. I've referred to the Nanavati case. Opinion polls, that was also referred. Opinion poll is a media function. It is not a trial by media. So let's get our fundamentals clear. And opinion polls do not impact, do not amount to trials. So why are we discussing it? Police get demoralized. Yes, I've been very much part of administration and I do know that you do get demoralized. But what matters more is the people get demoralized when nothing happens. The people get demoralized when nothing happens. So somebody has to shake them out of the stupor, and somebody has to make it very clear that we will not let things be fixed. Trial by media, focus by media comes in of assistance when things are hunky-dory and things are being fixed. That's all. And it could extend from policemen to administrators to judges to everyone can be fixed. Everyone has a price. Having said that, somebody referred to a slap by. The judicial system is being demoralized. The judicial system is being wrecked if you go in for trial. First of all, even if you go in for a trial by media, even if you go in for charges, even if you go in for drama, you don't end up with conviction. Huh? As my good friend Siddharth says, if a judge is so easily influenced, what do you do when somebody, okay, if a judge is so influenced by the media, he need not be a judge. He could resign and play golf. He is the judge, he is a policeman, he has taken up an occupation and he has to undertake the hazards of that occupation. The judicial system, when you talk about the judicial system getting demoralized or judicial system being put into danger, do you know what it means today? We have 4.4 crore cases pending. I'm repeating, 4.4 cases pending, 4.4 crore cases pending in the courts. We have 70,000 cases pending in the Supreme Court, the last word on the subject. Every issue of major concern to India is before the Supreme Court, which is looking in different directions. Now, having served government, I do know that it is integral to the functioning of government. If you see the symbol of government, you must have noticed, no? The Ashok Stamba and all that, and think deep. What does it mean? It means everybody in government, the four pillars or whatever you call them, is a shere, is a lion, and everybody looks in a different direction, isn't it? Everybody is looking in a different direction. That is the essence of government, and that's why I think we chose that symbol. To bring them back into looking once at the common duty is the task of the media, and the media occasionally succeeds. Question comes of how much threat is it to democracy? Which of the cases narrated by the honorable members here, which one threatened democracy? Tell me. One case. One case. Which case threatened democracy? They were salacious, they made TRPs, they made good points, they disgusted people, but which one was, let us say, a threat to democracy? The threat to democracy, on the other hand, lies in the fact that it's a one-way traffic with the rest of the media. Not a single interview has been held by the Prime Minister of India in 8 years. And when his transponder fails, we know his real self. We know his real self at that point of time. It is incumbent on the media to take up this trial. The trial that I said is on missionary mode to clean up the nation, to serve democracy. Not a single case of media trial has been proved to be against democracy. So why are you bringing in prejudice in place of propositions? It's a sheer prejudice, it's a sheer postulate, it's a presumption. Why are you bringing this and trying to ram it through? The same point I would repeat again. It's an incumbent duty of the media to try on trial a person and a system that is wrecking the very fundamentals of this nation, the plural structure of this nation, the democratic structure of the nation. It is its incumbent duty, and then only can it be one step ahead, not a threat to democracy, but someone who stood up for democracy during India's darkest hour. It's incumbent on the media to go in for trials of those who deserve trial, and perhaps at the end of the trial, a conviction of the Nuremberg type. With these words, I thank all my friends here for having enlightened us, but I would bring you straight to the point. The topic is trial by media, not other activities, and how it endangers democracy. On that score, there is no evidence. So let us not waste our time with examples of personal hazards and personal losses. It is an institutional issue that we are speaking about. With these words, I oppose the motion. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.